Dear readers, I truly value the time and emotional energy you've invested in this story. My hope is that its raw honesty speaks to you, as together we navigate the difficult terrain of trust, betrayal, and the cost of misplaced faith. When my wife Emily told me she was leaving for a work seminar, I didn't think twice. She worked as a corporate coach, constantly flying to different cities, meeting clients, and attending professional events. Her lifestyle was demanding, but my trust in her was absolute. She kissed me gently before leaving, suitcase in hand, promising she'd call every night. True to her word, she did call, but her voice was distant, her tone hurried. Each conversation was brief, filled with excuses about late-night dinners with colleagues or unexpected networking sessions. A knot of unease began to grow inside me, but I dismissed it, scolding myself for being paranoid. 5 days later, Emily returned home. She looked radiant, almost glowing, as though she had just come back from a luxurious retreat rather than a business trip. Her skin seemed brighter, her smile dazzling, her energy contagious. She wrapped me in a warm embrace, kissed me with unusual enthusiasm, and raved about how successful the seminar had been. But in the days that followed, subtle shifts crept in. Emily became secretive with her phone, always placing it face down. She suddenly took a greater interest in the gym, bought new clothes, and even wore perfume when working from home. These changes felt out of place, but I chose silence, convincing myself the truth would reveal itself eventually. And it did, just not in the way I ever imagined. 2 weeks later, Emily began complaining of nausea and fatigue. Half joking, she said she might have picked up something at the seminar. Concerned, I urged her to see a doctor. To my surprise, she agreed, though she brushed it off as nothing more than stress. Still, I sensed there was something she wasn't telling me. When she came back from the appointment, she was visibly tense but offered no explanation. Then, a few days later, a letter arrived in the mail. It was her medical report. Emily was out when it came, and curiosity, mixed with dread, overpowered me. I opened it, expecting something harmless. Instead, the words froze me where I stood. Emily had tested positive for an STD. My heart dropped. My wife, who had supposedly been at a work seminar, had returned carrying more than just stories. That evening, when Emily walked in, her face lit with the same dazzling smile, I sat silently at the kitchen table with the report spread out before me. The moment her eyes landed on the paper, the color drained from her face. "Where did you get that?" she stammered. My hands trembled, but I forced my voice to stay calm. "It came in the mail. Do you want to explain?" She scrambled for excuses, rambling about unsanitary hotel conditions or contaminated food. None of it made sense, and I didn't believe a word. Her stories collapsed under their own weight. Finally, she broke down, sobbing, and confessed. The seminar had been a lie. She had spent the weekend with a man she'd met months earlier. The pain that cut through me was indescribable. It wasn't just her infidelity. It was the calculated deception, the false tenderness, the reckless disregard for my health and my trust. She begged me to understand, swearing it had been a meaningless mistake, insisting she still loved me. But how do you forgive betrayal so deliberate, so dangerous? I sat there in silence, watching the woman I had once trusted completely unravel before me, grasping at hollow promises to repair what she had shattered. That night, I packed my suitcase. Emily followed me through the house, crying, pleading, promising she would change. But my decision was unshakable. I told her I could not remain with someone who had so deeply betrayed me and put my well-being at risk. Her sobs echoed behind me as I closed the door. Months have passed since then. Piece by piece, I've rebuilt my life. Emily has reached out many times with apologies, but I have never looked back. The memory of her radiant return, her glowing smile hiding such devastating secrets, still haunts me. If I've learned anything, it's this: a deceiving smile can conceal the deepest wounds. Thank you, dear readers, for walking with me through this story of heartbreak and resilience. May it remind us all of both the fragility and the strength of trust.